You ever build your whole life with grit, fight your way into a dream you bled for, and then, the second you finally get there, someone asks you to put it all down? Because that's where I am right now, and I'm honestly not sure if I'm a monster or if I'm just finally saying the quiet part out loud. I'm 36. I'm a neurologist. And I love my job in a way that's hard to explain to people who don't feel called to what they do. Helping patients is the biggest honor of my life, and I didn't get here because it was easy. I was a mess as a teenager. I didn't even get accepted to a single college when I graduated high school. I had to start at community college in remedial classes and work my way up one step at a time. When I finally got into medical school at 26, I was thrilled. Like, ugly cry thrilled. I met my husband during my third year of med school. He's 37 now. We've been married for 4 years. He works in marketing, and I make about 3 times what he does. And from the very beginning, I was clear about something. I wasn't sure I wanted biological kids. My dream was adoption through foster care. That's always been my heart. My husband said he understood. He said he was on board. Then last year, his best friend had a baby boy. And something in my husband changed. Suddenly it wasn't whenever you're ready. Suddenly it was pressure, it was hints, it was talks that weren't really talks, more like negotiations where I was expected to eventually say yes. I was still early in my career as an attending. After med school and residency, I was finally practicing independently. I wanted a few more years before revisiting children. I wanted to breathe. Then in August, a condom broke, and I ended up pregnant. At first, I considered an abortion. I'm not ashamed of that. I was terrified. I felt like my life had barely begun, and I could already feel the weight of expectations crashing down on my chest. But after a lot of long emotional conversations, my husband and I decided to keep the baby. And because of that decision, we made another one. He would quit his job and stay home with our daughter until she was old enough for preschool. This wasn't some vague, we'll see how it goes idea. This was a plan, a commitment, a promise. And there were real reasons behind it. 1. I make significantly more money. Financially, it was obvious. 2. I'm in the first few years of my career as an attending. My momentum matters. I'm building my reputation, my practice, my future. My husband has been in marketing for 15 years. His career isn't in the same fragile launch phase mine is. 3. I was crystal clear that I have zero desire to be a stay-at-home parent. I respect people who do it, truly, but I would lose my mind. Work is my identity, my purpose. I didn't claw my way into medicine to sit at home watching the clock. And 4, this one is personal. I'm not comfortable putting my baby in daycare until she's old enough to communicate clearly. When I was young, something happened to me that shattered my trust in leaving kids with strangers when they can't tell you what's going on. I know not every daycare is dangerous. I know plenty are wonderful. But my fear isn't theoretical. It's rooted in real trauma. So our plan was, he stays home, I work, our daughter stays out of daycare until she's older. Our daughter is 9 weeks old now. I'm preparing to return to work in a few weeks. This weekend, I went to an out-of-state medical conference. It was a big deal for me, learning, networking, feeling like myself again for the first time since giving birth. I left my husband alone with the baby. When I came home, something felt off immediately. He was weird, quiet, avoiding eye contact, not his normal self. Today, while our daughter napped, I finally pressed him. What is wrong? And he broke. He started crying and said he doesn't think he can do this. He said he felt trapped, alone, overwhelmed all weekend, that he felt like he was drowning, that he can't handle being home with her full time. And then he said what I didn't expect. He wants me to extend my maternity leave. He's talking about trying to get his job back. My stomach dropped because all I could think was, okay, then what? What happens to our daughter? So I asked him, panicking, what are we going to do with her now? And he suggested I leave my practice and work from home. I said no, absolutely not even a discussion. Then he suggested daycare, and something in me snapped. Not because he admitted he's struggling, I actually can empathize with that. Caring for a newborn is relentless. It can break people, it's isolating, it's exhausting, it changes everything overnight. But because he didn't just admit he was struggling, he was backing out of the plan we built our entire decision around. The plan that made me say yes to a pregnancy I wasn't even sure I wanted. The plan that let me believe I could be a mother without losing the career I fought for. And in that moment, I lost it. I screamed, if I knew you were going to back out of your promise to take care of our daughter, I would have never had your child. The second it came out, I hated myself for it. Because I love my daughter. I love her more than anything. I would never trade her for the world. But I was furious. I felt betrayed. I felt like the ground shifted under my feet. Because now I'm staring at 3 options I never agreed to. Option 1. I sacrifice my career, my identity, after everything I endured to get here. Option 2. I put my daughter in daycare before I'm emotionally able to handle it. Option 3. I somehow do both work full-time and parent full-time and break myself in half. And what makes it worse is that my husband is acting like this is happening to him, like he's the victim of circumstances, when he's the one who pushed for a baby, helped convince me to keep the pregnancy, and promised he would stay home. Now I'm sitting here wondering how to move forward, because I know what I said was cruel. But I also know I said it because I'm terrified. Terrified of losing my career. Terrified of losing my sense of self. Terrified of resenting him. Terrified of resenting motherhood. Terrified of being forced into a life I never chose because the person who made the promise decided he couldn't handle it once it got real. And the worst part is, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do next. Do I apologize for the words while still holding him accountable for the reality? Do I compromise on daycare and live with my anxiety? Do I demand he gets support and learns how to do what he promised, Because plenty of stay-at-home parents struggle at first, and they still show up? Or do I accept that the plan is dead and start grieving the life I thought I'd have? So tell me, if you were in my shoes, if your partner begged for this baby, promised to stay home, and then tried to change the deal the moment it got hard, would you be able to forgive the panic behind what I said? Or would you feel like the trust is already cracked?